Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Kathy. Welcome. What an intro. Today I'm going to do my makeup, maybe my hair, don't hold your breath. And I'm going to tell you the story of Jan and Michael Roseboro. And maybe you'll hear about Angie Funk as well. So let's talk about these people. Michael, he was working for his family's company, and it was a funeral home. So he was the director. Hello nepotism, am I right? Anyways, apparently you make hella money in that job. I mean, job security is always there. Somebody will always die. In fact, I'm pretty sure that somebody who knew Michael said that he kind of like joked like that. Like a job security, because, you know, I always have business. Jan was a stay-at-home mom. They decided on that together, which, by the way, is a really hard job, and I've heard the pay sucks. They got married in 1989. Michael made sure that his family had everything that they needed and wanted. They had like a big luxurious home with a big swimming pool, which was something that Jan really wanted because she really liked to swim. She was an avid swimmer and she wanted to be able to swim whenever she wanted. So she didn't want to like necessarily have to go to the beach or a public pool. So he made that happen for her. She had her own pool. So clearly Michael has money, like I mentioned, but it's not like Jan married into money, right? Her family was well known in the community because they owned a bunch of businesses. So she had that family money, you know what I'm saying? And she was well known in the community. And because of her family owning so many businesses, and it seemed like the community embraced the family and her, and everyone seemed to like Jan. And she was really social, so she'd have like social gatherings. Her and Michael both were really social. They'd have gatherings at their house, and he was really outgoing and kind of like a jokester, kind of a dork a little bit too. And she was really kind, genuine, kind of laid back. Everyone seemed to think she was a really nice person. I guess you would call Jan and Michael a power couple, right? You ever heard of that thing? Yeah. Usually it's like a Hollywood thing, but it happens in real life too. And they were it. But like, not a power couple where everyone is like, ah. So like I was saying, people like them, which love to hear it. But also Michael was said to be compassionate, which I like that word because I like people that are compassionate. I think that most people do. So there's that element of him, like he's outgoing and he's a little bit of a jokester and he's successful and he's compassionate. He cares, you know? So they have their first kid, and after they have their first kid, Jan notices that he's kind of being distant. And that's hard because think about it. After you have a baby, like your body's all different and you don't get very much sleep. And really what you need more than anything is for your partner to be reassuring to you. But instead he was pulling away and like having to be at the office a lot, doing paperwork, you know, a lot of paperwork, so much paperwork. So Jan, she's no fool. She's a smart woman. She knows that something's not right. So she talks to him about it. She tells him exactly how she's feeling and mentions her concerns and, you know, says like, you're off. Something's not right. And I need you to tell me what's going on. So he confessed. He said that he had been messing around and, you know, he confessed fully everything that was going on and said that it wouldn't happen again. Like it's over. He just wasn't being fulfilled by her, you know, because she just had a baby. So he tells her specifically that his sexual needs were not being met. But he said that he would go to marriage counseling, and that's a lot. I feel like I'm always surprised when I do this, but why? I should know by now. Anyways, he says he's going to go to marriage counseling, and they're going to work on this. You know, they're going to work on this to make both of them happy. So he starts going to the counseling with her. So they start doing counseling. They want to make sure that both of them are happy, which is great. And he starts doing things for her to show that she matters to him. So he's getting more focused and in tune with her again. And rumor has it that he cheated a couple of times, maybe a couple, maybe a few. He was good looking, and he had money, and he was compassionate. So he probably had women just throwing themselves at him. Okay, I'm kind of kidding about the women throwing themselves at him. Go look up a picture. Maybe I'll put a picture up of him right here. Or maybe I won't. It depends on how lazy I am, honestly. Just Google him. You decide if, you know, is he hot or is he not? One day, this is in 2008, okay? We've been all over the place as far as where are we? What year is it? Don't worry about it, all right, guys? Just listen to the story. Calm down. So it's 2008, and Michael goes to a coffee shop, and he runs into a woman there, and he's just mesmerized by this woman. He's shook, and she notices him too. So they're kind of like, oh, what are you doing here? Getting coffee or something? That's usually what people get when they're at a coffee shop. So they kind of talk to each other and like, hey, hi. And then they start showing up at the same coffee shop repeatedly, just running into each other. And they really have chemistry, you know, they really like each other. But he's married and he has kids. And so is she. She's married, she has kids. So they start this friendship, and they're talking to each other about their lives. And she's really opening up to him and says that she's been married a long time, and she's in a religious marriage, and she's got kids, and she just never really had a chance to just be herself. You know, she's always been a wife and a mother. And so she's confiding in Michael and opening up to him and seeing this as a good friendship, somebody that she can talk to, and he's really listening, and it probably felt really good. And so they have this friendship. They start talking a lot really quickly, like right off the bat. They exchange numbers and emails, and they're talking constantly. So they become besties. This friendship, you're going to be surprised by this. Are you ready for this? It turns into something more than a friendship. I know. I'm shocked too. Just amazed. So, the friendship built really, really quickly. Imagine how quickly the romantic relationship built. It was quick. It was really, really quick. Like I said, they exchanged communications with each other. So they are in constant communication with each other. We're talking love letters, like to the maximum amount. And he was emailing her, and she was printing out the emails because she just wanted to have a physical copy in her possession. And she wanted to be able to look back at them, and they were falling in love with each other within like the first, I don't know, week of knowing each other. So they went from strangers to they're planning a wedding together. They're planning a life together. These love letters, which are, I found some love letters, and whoo boy, they were pretty steamy. They were like real steamy. They were kind of like teenagerish. Like, I love you forever and ever, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I guess as an adult, it'd be nice to have that kind of conversation with someone too. But I mean, if you're both married to somebody and you don't have like an open relationship agreement thing, and there's a lot of lies and deceit going on, I don't know how healthy of a bond that is. Probably not very healthy of one, but who am I to judge? I am judging though. I'm judging so hard. So these intense communications are happening, and it didn't take long for them to start meeting up and getting it on. Oh yeah, that's right. We all saw that coming. They had an emotional affair first, and now they just took it to the physical level. And so people around town know Michael, and they see him with another woman. They even, like, people noticed him checking into hotels and things with this woman. But he assured everyone that he had some plans for his wife. He was going to renew their vows. So he was meeting up with this woman to figure out how he could write these vows. So he was getting a female point of view. And like I said, people really liked him. So they didn't really think that he would lie about that, because he was a nice person. And so they thought, well, he has really provided for Jan so far. And although they may have had some rough spots, I think he's probably meeting up with a random woman in a hotel for innocent reasons. I get that. Jan definitely noticed that he was being absent again. She knows what to look for. He's been a cheater for a while, you know, he's cheated on her before. He's got a history of this, so she knows that when he starts doing excess amounts of paperwork, usually means one thing. So she started to kind of call him out on it. And he said the same thing that he said to her before. I am not having my physical needs met. I am not sexually satisfied. And she would complain to her friends about him too, saying that he's being distant and I think he's cheating, and neither one of them wanted a divorce. There's a lot at stake. They have children, I think 3 children. So there is a lot on the line there. So divorce is not easy, obviously. I want this color. I'm getting a little greedy with the colors, but you guys, I want them all. Maybe just one more color. Anyways, these Michael and Angie, they're almost kind of being blatant about their affair. They're just so enthralled with each other that they're not really worried about consequences, I guess. So anyways, remember that Angie has a husband, and he finds out. He obviously knows that she's not acting right. She's not acting normal. So he finds out. Not good. So Angie's husband, he finds all the text messages, or a lot of them. He finds letters, and these are like, I want to live the rest of my life with you. They're planning their wedding. They're talking about destinations, wedding dresses, wedding rings. And these messages show how intense and deep this relationship is. So her husband confronts her, and he's like, we're done. Yeah, this is it. Like, I don't want to be with you anymore. But that's when she drops the bomb. She drops the bomb that she's pregnant. What Angie didn't mention is that the baby is Michael's. Now it's time for the liquid eyeliner, which I am actually going to do on camera. But I can't talk when I do this, okay? So stand by. So finally, Jan has had it. She has had it. I mean, you can only bear a man's children and have him say that he is not sexually satisfied with you so many times before you've had enough. And she had enough. So she threatened to divorce his ass. And she meant it. And what happens if she divorces him? Well, custody. What's going to happen with that? Probably child support. It's probably going to be a lot because he makes a lot of money. What else? The house. The big house, right? Who gets the house? I'd say it's probably going to be Jan. July 28th, 2008. It was a hot, humid evening. It was a Saturday, unless it was a Sunday. I think it was a weekend. Anyways, it was hot, and so Jan decided to go hang out by the pool. So she's just chilling by the pool, and she's not drinking or anything like that, if you're wondering if she had some wine. No. However, Michael had a beer, maybe a couple of beers. He knew that she was up by the pool, but he got tired from the beer, so he went to bed. Now it's about 10 p.m. and Michael wakes up. He finds his wife in the pool, calls 911. So he's telling 911 very flatly how he found her. They tell him to do CPR, and he says that he knows how to do it because he was a lifeguard. So he apparently is doing CPR while on the phone with the dispatch. Paramedics arrive, and they take Jan away, and they're under the impression that Jan had been in the pool, drowning. That's what you would assume. So Michael stayed behind. He didn't go to the hospital with Jan. He stayed home with the kids. And some people think that's weird. Some people don't think it's weird. Think whatever you want. You're allowed to. I think it's weird. There's no way. Well, I've never been in this position. I can't really say. Anyways, he stays home. And while she's on her way to the hospital, I believe they are doing compressions on her. And that's when they are noticing like large amounts of blood gushing out of her head. So maybe she hit her head when she fell into the pool. However, she ended up passing away, obviously, because I'm here telling you this story, and people never make it out alive in my stories. This is Jan's story, though. This is not my story. This is Jan's story. So she passed away, and Michael took it really well. He seemed unemotional and flat. And again, we don't really know how we're going to be in a situation like that until we go through it. But he said that he had retrieved her out of the pool and was doing CPR on her, but his clothes were dry. And also when he was on the phone, he said that he was doing CPR on her and said that he had already finished a certain amount of compressions, which didn't add up, that it just was too quick. It didn't make sense. So things weren't looking so great for Michael. One of the neighbors said that night, the pool lights and all the lights around like the back porch area were off that night, and that was out of character. The lights, it was always lit back there. Michael said that the lights were on, but the neighbor said the lights were not on. So finding inconsistencies and lies, never a good look when you're the husband of someone who died. Also, he told police that their relationship was solid, that they were going to be renewing their vows soon. He did not mention anything about infidelity. He certainly didn't mention Angie. Investigators are gonna find out. So it's always better to just tell them, or lawyer up and don't say anything. It's usually like the safest thing to do, I think. I'm feeling my hair right now. Angie. So police didn't find out about Angie until they got an anonymous tip. Somebody called. So they actually may have taken a little bit longer to find out about her, but they did have all those email exchanges and just like receipts. So they brought Angie in, and she admitted to the affair, but she said that she didn't know anything about Jan. And I honestly, I watched the interrogations, and I believe Angie. I do also believe Angie was very much in love with Michael. They were really in love with each other. It is what it is. But when the police told her that he had other relationships, she was pretty upset. She actually called Michael and was talking to him on the phone during the interrogation and was like, "I feel so betrayed. I can't believe that you would do this to me. I thought that I trusted you. I thought I could trust you." And so I thought that was something. So things are stacking up against Michael, not looking so great. Angie's kind of not really wanting to answer very many questions, though. She's kind of like arms crossed and just kind of blasé, and she doesn't want to throw Michael under the bus, basically. Okay, so let's talk about Jan's body. Her body told the whole story. She had been choked. She had been dragged. She had blunt force trauma. That means that she was hit about the head, and she was held underwater because there was water in her lungs. So she suffered a severe beating, and she had DNA underneath her fingernails. She fought, and guess whose DNA it was? It was Michael's. And when Michael came in a day or two later, I think a day later, he had scratches on his face. And they didn't notice them before. When a scratch is fresh, you might not notice it, but the next day that it was red and it was obvious. So he said that he got those scratches from his kids when they were playing in the pool together. Listen, he was playing in the pool, inviting people over a day or two after his wife died. They're swimming in the pool where her body was. They're like having drinks and having a barbecue and things. These just are not things, not good, not a good look. So the DNA though, that's really, you can't really fight the DNA underneath the fingernails. He has the scratches. He's obviously lying. He has these affairs. The list goes on. Angie's baby, which is Michael's. In July of 2009, Michael went on trial. He pled innocent, and he maintains his innocence. However, the jury was not convinced, and he got life in prison. Angie was not charged with any crime. She didn't know. Her only crime was falling in love with his dumbass. I don't know where she is. I don't know about the baby. I don't know. I'm gonna leave Angie alone. Let her live her life. But that's the story of Jan, poor Jan, and Michael, and Angie, and this crazy love triangle. And anyways, here's the hair. This is all my hair today. I didn't do a wig. This is all me. And this is the look. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye.